So welcome to Let's Talk. Guys, we're so glad to have you to join us again another week. Thank God for another day.
Yes, indeed.
And here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about issues that matter to you so we can come up with workable, practical solutions so we have more action and less talk. I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host,
Still Cheryl.
Still Cheryl. She's still Cheryl this week. She's not just Cheryl, she's still Cheryl this week. So, folks, we'd be glad to have you join in on this conversation with us. So please call us at 352-8255, 352-TALK, or just drop a comment in the chat on YouTube, and we'll read your chat live, your comment live. So today's topic, we'll jump right in. No dilly-dally, no scallying. Strong, independent women. Fact or fiction? And I am torn by it, right? And I attempted to give my co-hosts command and leadership of the show today.
I'm letting the man lead. I'm being submissive. I'm trying something new on.
And she declined because I wanted her to flex her independent muscles and show you all that it is not a myth that an independent, strong woman does exist. But she says she's going to prove it to us through conversation as the show goes on.
Yes.
So, Cheryl.
Can we do it?
Yes. You got to tell me.
No. We can end the show right here.
That's it?
Yes.
Case in point. That's it.
Yes. I think strong, independent women exist. Yes. We see them every day. You see them every day, Jason. Every single day. And women are strong and they're independent. In some cases because they want to be, and in many cases because they have to be. I genuinely believe that it's because they have to be. And I know that independent women, this phrase is a dirty word now. A lot of times we look at it as a dirty word, but it's a woman being self-sufficient. It's a woman having to draw on her internal strength and having to rely on her own resources, on her own capabilities and abilities, and making life work for her. That's who an independent woman is. And like I said, she is that because she has to be that.
Okay. Listen, I know that they are possible. It's possible. I know that some actually are. But what is independent? To be independent, though?
It's to be self-reliable. It's not having to depend on other people.
And that's where the fiction is right there.
Really?
Nobody on this earth.
Oh, boy. I know. Well, go ahead.
Is truly independent. Mm-hmm. You know, we all rely on somebody for something. Mm. So this phrase that you all like to throw out, women, because you don't hear men saying it.
I wonder, why is it that you don't have a phrase independent men?
Because
I've never heard it. And as I thought about the show today, I'm thinking, I've never heard a phrase.
Because we live in
independent
reality.
men.
We live in reality.
So because men are dependent?
We live in reality.
No.
We know that
I'm serious.
There's no such thing as a true independent person. Now, we can be independent in certain areas, right? But there's no such true thing as truly independent. Because nobody can sustain themselves.
I stand corrected. I thought it was because, men, once they stop depending on their mother, they start depending on their wives.
Oh, really? Is that the case?
That's what I thought. But
you can prove me wrong. Again, thinking is wrong. Cheryl, don't think. You're hurting yourself.
It makes a lot of sense, though. No, really, though. Maybe we can have someone, other people I really would love, and this is a good time to encourage persons to...
Independent that I am, I know that I have to depend on people for certain things, whether it be men or women for other things. So to go around here claiming I'm a strong, independent man, that means I don't have to say that. You'll see that. Mm-hmm. You'll know that. So you don't have to boast that.
So you think independent women, they coined the phrase, they're the ones who went around saying, I'm independent. And
they're truly independent.
I'm asking that question. Do you think that's how that came up? Independent women came up with the phrase independent women?
Yeah,
or was
come
it
up with that as
men who came up with it because women were pretending to act self-reliable
Right,
as if they don't need them.
right.
So who you think came up with it, men or women?
I don't know. You know, when they say insecure people boast about what they have and all this stuff, I think that's because if a woman is truly independent, she don't have to go around boasting that and bragging that, because we'll see that and we'll honor her and we'll applaud her for her independence in whichever area she is. But if she got to say, oh, I'm a strong black independent, I shouldn't say black, I'm a strong independent
shouldn't have.
woman, you know.
Uh-huh.
Usually when you hear a woman saying that, is because she's trying to show somebody something. You know, she's trying to prove something.
So you don't think some of them are labeled that way because of how they maybe responded to life?
Maybe, but most times when I hear that, it's being somebody tooting their own horn.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't really hear people saying, "Oh, she's a strong, independent woman." Usually, it's coming from that person because they're trying to prove I don't depend on somebody, and it's after the fact, after they've depended on somebody or somebody tell them no. Oh, I'm independent. I don't need it. I don't need it from somebody. I can go get it somewhere else. Well, if you get it from somewhere else, you're still independent because you've
Right.
gone get it from somewhere else.
Well,
You
while
didn't
I don't
self-rely.
believe that
you didn't
no one-
self-sustain you.
No one is fully independent. While I believe that, but there are some people who are self-reliant for most of what they need, or all of their needs they can supply. Well, I'm talking about your materialistic needs, and I don't know why someone is calling me, but
Tell him to call
I'm
the
on the show.
Tell
Yes.
him call the show. 352-8255.
Jason says call the show 352-8255. Let's hope this is not my employer. Yes, back. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying, Jason?
I
Let's see
don't
if he
know.
was
I don't pay
listening.
attention
Oh, he
too
wasn't
much.
even
So if you
listening.
can't
I guess
pay
that's
attention
why
to
women
yourself-
have to be independent.
But you can't
because
pay attention
we
to
have
yourself.
people like Jason. Anyway,
See, you say
really
so much.
forgot what I was saying.
Yes, we say so
I
much
was
to
saying,
yourself,
no,
not substance.
I remember now. Oh my gosh, you're really being rude today.
That's just to make
As
up
I
for
was
last
saying,
week.
it's because why? Who was mean to you
See,
last
pay
week?
attention, focus. Go on. Go on.
No, I'm saying now some people do have to rely on themselves for all of their own needs, and I think that may be where that comes from. Of course, we rely on other people because we're all made to exist in community, and we need other people for love, for friendship, for acceptance, for all of those other things that help us to blossom, not just materialistically, but being wholesome on the inside. And I think that's important. That we have to depend on other people for. But I think when the term independent woman was coined, it was a woman who supplied all her materialistic needs, whether it was the basic needs, her food, her shelter, her clothing, all of those things she supplies for herself, and she doesn't have to depend on anyone else for that.
And that's where I go again. You know, I think it would be best to say she knows how to get the job done, rather than saying independent, because she's not independent, because she knows where to go to get her needs met, whether it be the job, whether it be friends, whether it be support from whoever. She knows where to go and get it. She knows how to get the job done, because that's still not independent, because you are dependent on somebody else to provide whatever that is you're lacking.
You mean the job itself too?
The job,
Okay.
wherever she's falling short on, she might need support and emotional support, financial support, any kind of support. She knows where to go to get it. So, like I said, when I usually hear that I'm an independent woman, it's because it's now I'm proving to you that I don't need you. I mean, no, they've never said it to me, but I've heard it that's proven I don't need no man for nothing.
Yes.
I'm an independent woman. You know? So,
Well, Neil sang a song about independent. I think he was looking for an independent woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's lost on guys, the fact that I think
That's
some
true.
guys like women who are quote unquote independent women. I'm not sure why. Why is that? Maybe we can have some guys respond. Why do guys like independent women?
I can assume why, because they feel that those type of women, they don't come to them for much, which means he don't want her calling on him for whatever those needs are. So if she's independent, she's
So he
got her
doesn't-
own thing.
she's filling the space for,
yes.
yeah,
So
for
he
the
doesn't have that
provision,
much responsibility.
So he doesn't have to provide.
Yes.
He doesn't have to play the man's role in the provision
I wouldn't
aspect.
say the man's role. He has less to play.
He doesn't. Well, that if the man is supposed to provide and he doesn't want to provide, an independent woman is providing for herself.
Right.
I think that's what you're saying. I'm just saying it boldly for you because you have guys, the faces to look into
He
tomorrow.
may
Jason.
he may say that's not true. He just don't. I just feel. Let me don't speak for them. I speak
Right.
for me. You know, I feel that's why they go after those type of women, because she have her own stuff. I don't have to provide it for her, and even sometimes I could get it from her. You understand?
Wow.
So that's why
he
they do
wants
like
a sugar
it.
mommy too. Tell us more,
Yeah,
Jason. This
so-
is very interesting.
listen, we got
Ladies,
some
Jason
little-
is schooling us as to
Listen.
why men like independent
Hold
women.
on. Where do you think where do you think these
Really?
cougars come from?
Ooh.
Why do you think they exist? Why do you think
And
there's
those- Mm-hmm.
a market for them? Because the cougars usually are the quote unquote independent
The
women,
providers
and
of-
they can provide for the younger guys who just want the easy life. Those guys who came up mama's boys, and they really ain't had that strong man in their life to show them how a man's supposed to carry himself. So hey, mommy do it for me, let me go find a woman to do it for me too. You understand?
Interesting.
So they like those women who quote unquote independent. But those women who come who call themselves that independent, they come with a lot of other stuff too. Because they had to get to this independent status. I keep doing these air quotes for independent
Yes,
status.
I'm not sure why.
They
Because
had
it
to-
is a real thing.
they had
Jason.
to go
Usually, if it's a
to-
real thing, you don't use the air quotes. There are women
They had to go
who
through
are
a lot.
self-sufficient
Yes,
financially.
these women exist.
Financially,
Yes, they are. There.
I think that
Because they work hard.
and it's not a dirty thing.
No,
it's not a bad
it's
thing.
not. They did it because they, like you say, a lot of them did it because of the necessity.
Right.
And then a lot of them don't want no man to be throwing it in their face, to be taking advantage of them, abuse them, and holding them down, and just saying, hey, you ain't getting none of this stuff. No, you can't go this way. You can't buy this because that's my money. She relying on him. So hold on, I don't want nobody telling me no.
Okay.
So I go get my own stuff.
And I think then too-
so yeah.
okay.
So I understand. And then some of them, a lot of them become that, like you said, because of the necessity. They end up in a certain position in life because of mistakes made by somebody, but now they have to now fill the void. And then them becoming this independent woman, that makes them hard. So they lose a lot of their femininity because they now have to take on the masculine role in order to be this independent person. It's very rare you would find a soft, gentle, independent woman. Those words, that's an oxymoron. They really don't go hand in hand.
Well, they exist. I think it's a lot of times it's what we look for. And a lot of times we judge people based on what we think we know about their situation and about them.
Well, you only can judge by what we see.
Just like, a lot of times we take a sample, we know 5 people who are that way, and we take that and we judge a whole group of persons with very little knowledge. I think we're largely responsible for that. But some of what you're saying is true. I do agree that sometimes when life requires certain things of you and you have to show up in that way, then you lose some things. So you have to risk some things to gain some things. And I think, and that's what I wanted to ask you too, as I'm not sure if we're ready for a commercial break. Okay, when we come back from commercial break, I have a great question for you as it relates to independent women and relationships and how that
You see how
plays out.
she will sneak something
So,
on me without
we'll be
giving me
right
time to
back.
prepare? All right.
You'll have
Always
time to
ready.
prepare.
Never
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown or the Genesis Street Girl.
You ain't scared of Joneses, eh?
You bringing us by?
So we're back from the commercial break, and before Cheryl springs this quick question on me, because she's trying to catch me sleeping, she can't catch me sleeping. I hear the chat is on fire. So, Jay John says, no one is truly independent. No man is an island. That's correct. That's what I've been saying.
Hi, Priska. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. Priska says most independent women don't truly want to be, but are forced to be. She's
Agreed.
100% correct.
I agree.
Yes. Jason agrees with you for once, Priska.
Not for once.
He was saying some bad things about you during the commercial break, but we're not going to
Yeah.
get into that. And she also says men are the ones pushing this independent women label, though, and that screams insecure.
I disagree with that statement there. Mm-hmm. J. John, y'all got swing by that female group talking about independent women. You know, then they all got married. Truth.
Which group was that?
Destiny Child.
Oh, Destiny's Child. Okay. Priska says men don't go around screaming they're independent because they usually have a woman to depend on, whether it's a girlfriend, wife,
Never.
mother. Thank you very much. Priska, you and I are saying the same thing.
Never.
That is so true.
Never.
Men weren't made to be independent. When God made Eve, she put him in the garden. She put her in the garden because Adam needed a helpmate. He needed someone to hold him down.
He
So
put her there
they were
when he
to
saw
help
all
each
the
other.
other animals had a female mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and-
And the support. Don't just put it there. Just don't leave it there like that now.
What,
'Cause if
so
you try to
she
say
was only
put-
there for
I say and. See how y'all women is selective here?
I'm just one person. Don't use
Selective
me to
hearing?
paint all those great women out there. I am just me.
The women go, B-Lord says, the women go around saying that, are boasting because of underlying issues like insecurity. So they
I
have
think
to
you mentioned
validate
that.
themselves to feel better about themselves. I agree with that. Yeah.
Some people do. I must
Mm-hmm.
agree. Some people do. And some people are, well, let's just get all of these before I comment.
Okay, Priska
Oh.
says, go ahead.
I guess you wanted me to read.
Yeah, female, let's try to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because you can do it in
Priska
female
says,
voice.
exactly. Men see an independent woman and automatically assumes she's hard, difficult, etc. Just like Jason just did. And it's not always true. Yes, Jason just gave a great example.
Kai, love. Oh, that's a female again.
Okay.
No love. No love. Wow,
Kai
what
Kai
a
No
name.
Love says, independence comes with aggressiveness. Most women who are independent are strong-headed.
That's a female, I think. See there?
Okay.
Thank you, Kai.
And that's fine too, because when you've had to make all of your
Justify
decisions,
it now.
and like
First
I said,
you were saying
I
it
am
don't
not
happen, now you're justifying it.
explaining.
Oh,
I never
my.
said that
Let's
it
go
doesn't
on to the
happen.
next
I
comment,
said,
please. Thank you.
No,
Let's
I
go.
said sometimes when you have to be a certain way, it requires certain things
When
of
I
you.
said that, I was wrong.
And
Now
no,
okay, go ahead.
When someone lives making their own decisions, someone on the outside who comes in and when she has to change that attribute about herself, they will see her as strong-willed because it's going to take some time for that characteristic to dissipate.
When I
And
said
she
what-
has
why I
to
was wrong?
coexist with someone else.
Why when
so
I
that's
said I was
only
judging?
natural.
Why when I said
I
I
don't
was the
remember you
problem?
saying that. Priska says, stop assuming every woman has someone they can call on. There are many, many women doing everything for their families, completely on their own. And not
I
all
will
of those
stop
women.
assuming women of that when she all stop assuming that men have women to call on. I will stop
You
when you all
literally
stop.
just quoted the Bible to
What?
say that's why women were made. So a man could have someone to call on.
So he can, not that he
Call
has.
on.
Not that he has. And just like God made men to take care of women, she just saying not every woman have a man to call on, right?
That's true.
Anyway, because you
We
missed
have
that. That goes
more-
straight over your head.
No, we
Bilo
didn't.
said
Barely
many of
nothing
these
you
women
said.
claim independence,
Okay.
but still rely on men for things they cannot do. So how is this independent? J. John, the resourceful go-getter, similar to the virtuous woman described in Proverbs 31. Yes, that. Like I've been saying, rather than saying independent, just say a resourceful go-getter. They know how to get the job done, but they're not truly independent.
It doesn't matter what you call it.
Yes,
The
it does
fact
because
is,
words have meaning.
These women are, an independent woman is a woman who takes care of her financial needs.
So
and
you
that's
give a
what it
meaning
is.
to it then. You put your meaning on it. So when I put my meaning on it,
On what?
you say what an independent woman is. You're putting it.
Who
I know
is-
what independent
okay, who
is.
is-
Independent means not relying on another.
Right.
Independent. That's what it means.
Right.
Which human doesn't rely on another human?
We're talking about
No.
We're
See,
talking
meanings.
about the phrase. We're talking about the phrase as we know it. When women are called independent, what it is, and that's what we're talking. Well, that's what I'm
And that's
talking
why I
about.
asked. That's why I said. So you're putting your meaning on it.
I'm
the
putting
meaning
on it what I understand it to be.
Right.
Yes.
So your meaning, sure,
Okay.
why being so difficult? You think I'm trying to trap you on something?
Oh wait, do we need to go to commercial break? Jason needs a break. Clearly.
I mean,
No, Jason,
I'm
I
not
think-
trapping you. I
no,
like
no.
words and I like the meaning of words,
No,
so
I
we can
think-
use the
okay,
words how
what
they're
is
supposed to be.
happening no, you're taking the dictionary meaning of the word
Technical, right.
independent, and what I am using is the phrase.
That's why I asked.
When you hear the word independent woman, what it has been seen as. When you see or when someone is called or when someone refers to themselves as an independent woman, that is
It's what they
it
mean.
means. Yes.
And that's what I said. You're going by your meaning. Right?
Oh, boy.
That's all I'm saying, Cheryl. That's not a trap. If I say this is what I mean by it, then yes, my meaning. But you had a question to put forward to me. And say
What?
I ain't running. See, you didn't forget your question and all. But,
Are we done with those?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I think what I wanted to ask you about is, and I guess I can see where this is going to go. Independent women and relationships, and how do we think the term independence, or well, we know that independence does not come to play when you get into relationships. So I wanted us to talk, and our viewers to talk about that.
Independence and relationship. Those two can't go on and on.
Yes, that's what I
Relationship
said. So how
is-
are relationships affected by
Negatively.
by that?
Negatively. Because from a person saying they're independent, that means they want to be reliant on themselves. Because that's what independence means, which means don't want to rely on my partner if I'm independent of her. I want to rely on my partner for whatever means. I want that. That's why they're there. Support of each other. You know, I provide something for her, she provides something for me. So if I'm saying I'm independent of her, what I need her for?
I think why I started thinking about that because when we talked earlier about men wanting independent women, they find the fact that a woman can take care of certain things attractive. But so if a man finds that attractive,
What is the woman going to get from
what
that?
does that play out? How does that play out in a relationship?
Now you tell me, as a woman, how do you benefit from being an independent woman in a relationship?
I don't know. I'm asking.
No, I'm not. I definitely don't subscribe
I don't
to
know,
that,
so
and I
yes.
don't promote that because I know men and women have roles, and there's no such thing as independent.
Right. No one
So-
can. No one should be independent in
Right.
a relationship. It doesn't
So
foster.
So if she's coming in with that attitude, then she needs to truly be independent and be by herself.
No, well, I'm just saying, if she comes in with that attitude, or he comes in saying
Looking
that he
for that.
Exactly, because
And she
if
in for
he,
trouble. She's
that's what
in
I'm
for a
thinking.
world
If
of
she
trouble.
says he likes that, then she might want to think that okay, this is something that she should continue because he likes me being independent.
Now-
but at the end of the day, both persons suffer. At least she's in a place to
Listen,
suffer a little
like,
more.
Like you all mentioned, there's no woman out there I know that wants to be in control of everything, or be the leader, or be independent. Because
I think-
from God's design,
Right.
He set how He has set things up is for you guys to be taken care of, right? You all have your role, we have our role. So for you all to be independent or the leader or whatever, that means you're stepping out of your role to now take on some of our role, and that means you all got to take on some headaches, which you all probably aren't designed for, which can bring stress on you all, right? You all acting, you all now moving out of your zone.
Well,
I can't say you
like I
can't
said
do it.
before, and I think I've said it a million times. No woman wants to be independent.
Right.
No woman wants to be independent. Like you said, she's not designed for it. No woman wants to lead. Can she do it? Does
Of
she do
course.
it? Does she have to do it?
Of
Yes,
course.
but no woman wants to do that.
Right.
And so that's the bottom line. If she's out of her place because the place is not filled, and the place has to be filled because she has to eat, children have to eat, and so that has to happen. And that's why that happens.
Now, let's dive a little deeper. You said something that no woman wants to be that way, right? Shouldn't some decisions be tailored to so they do not end up that way? Shouldn't it be taught so that they don't have to, rather than it being promoted and glorified and creating a market for that role? Shouldn't that try to be phased out?
I don't know that a market is created, and I don't know. I don't know. There are people who glorify it, and I think, like someone would have said earlier, some people will go around and and model it because it is what it is, and that is their situation. So they're making the best of it, and they're trying to make it look good. But my whole point is life circumstances create this kind of situation for a lot of women. It's not a choice that they would have made. There are some women who, because of death of a spouse, because of divorce, because of whatever reasons that life circumstances create, and they end up this way, and they have to be independent.
Correct.
So it's not a matter of, not everything that a woman is a matter of bad choices.
Listen. We are the sum total of our choices, whether they be good or bad. And I heard you notice, and I heard you notice. Listen, Cheryl,
it's not a choice that is made.
I accept, and I validate your points on the death and all these other stuff. But I don't want you to gloss over or just try to sweep under the rug the other choices that are made, poor choices that are made that cause them to be in this condition, and now they're in this position because of poor choices, and now they're saying like they want to celebrate.
We don't have any statistics to support what percentage of women who consider themselves independent, who have to be independent, or women who have to provide for themselves, who are in that place as a result of divorce, as a result of death of a spouse, as a result of poor choices, as a result of death of parents at an early age. There are so many reasons why women end up having to support themselves financially, having to take care of themselves. So I am not going to sit here and say, okay, a lot of them, it's because of bad choices. There are many reasons.
Cheryl, you're very selective, right? You said the positive reasons, or what could be viewed as positive reasons as to why they end up in that position. The minute when I start to show the negative side, I'm not going to sit and talk about it.
I am not going to say, of course, Jason, I'm sure you will.
Calling percentage. There's no percentages.
I said there is nothing to support, so I'm not going to sit here and say that that's the reason.
And said there's a percentage out there of women acting like that. I'm saying that there is this group of ladies that exist
I don't know
for
any.
whatever good or bad reason. Some of them are in it, and they promote it. And I ask you a question. Should there be a conversation had to discourage these things from happening? That's all I ask. Because you said no woman truly wants to be that way, but they end up being that way. So my question is now trying to be proactive. Should a conversation be had so they don't end up in this position? Because according to you, they don't want to be there. That's my question to you. Now you don't want to talk. You don't want to talk. You don't want to say it. I would say.
To me, who's supposed to have this conversation? Who are they having the conversation with? I'm not following.
The last talk is trying to come up with solutions sometime, right? We were talking about the problem, so I was just trying to say, should we have conversations so it could be a solution? That's all I was saying.
Should we have conversations?
We're going on a commercial break because Cheryl is just swerving me right now. She's just swerving me and curving me. We'll be right back.
You asked and I delivered. Island-ish is back. The podcast you guys have known to love, to like to call in, to like to interact with. We are officially back. For the ones that don't know me, this is your girl Yams. Hearing me on Mix 102.1 FM or your favorite TGF_Yams. With the 2 S's, we're back with Island-ish right here on Superior Talk. So make sure you're following the page. We're going live this Thursday, 6 p.m. Don't miss it. Follow us. It's about to get lit.
And we're
Welcome
back.
to-
Jason is still alive.
Yes, I'm still alive.
Thank you
The
to those who were
threats,
praying for him.
I hope it
during
was
the break.
recording because I had threats of life bodily harm.
He did.
So we're back and we're going straight into the comments. Jay John says the independent woman stays single.
She should.
Yes, she should. Might as well get a cat, and a rocking chair. The excuse for being single and miserable is that they are too strong and independent. Yes, ain't no man can handle me. I'm too strong. That's what they're too weak. They can't deal with this.
Okay.
B. Lord Beach says, what's baffling is some of these women who boast about independence, saying they don't need a man, are the same ones that hold men accountable, or hold men accountable as leaders when things fall. Oh, yes. They independent, but when things start falling out, it's the man's fault. But if you're independent, then you ain't gonna need the man. You can't blame the man because you're all self-sufficient.
Oh, we're commenting on all the comments.
No,
now.
I just throwing that out there. You can speak now.
Oh,
She
so
speaks,
excited.
people. Go ahead.
Islander says, okay, Lil Boozy, start this. She got here. Okay, please read that.
Oh, she got her
Own house.
She got her own card. Good job. Work hard. Some men have glorified it so that it became a prerogative for most women. Yeah, and we spoke to that. Why
Yeah.
some men like that? That's less responsibility for him.
True.
Hadash Israel Hadassah Israel says, I don't believe in being a strong black woman. The Lord made us to be meek and gentle, homemakers, and yes, a pillar of rest to our husbands. Hallelujah. Go ahead, read that. This one's shooting at me. I ain't got to read it. I'm
No,
sure
I don't
she's
think
shooting
she
at me.
is. Tamara Johnson says, at Jason, what are some bad choices women make to get them in this position of being an independent woman? I guess we were going to come back to that. And so do we have any other comments after that? Because Jason can't wait to answer that, so we'll get back to that.
I could wait.
Yes.
I'm sure you would
you
want to
can?
chime in. Some women made bad choices in men over and over again. That's one of the, he answered a piece of it. They make bad choices in men over and over again, repeating the same cycle, or they themselves were toxic in the relationship and refused to see their part, which resulted in them being alone.
Some women.
Welcome to Let's Talk. You are live caller. Strong independent women. Fact or fiction? Which says you?
Hi guys,
Hi.
how y'all doing?
We doing
Okay.
good. This on the yams.
Yes.
It is y'all.
Oh, go ahead, Yams.
Already.
Come on, the door's open. Let's go.
She looking for backup. So I know that's what you come for. Shots were fired.
No, she ain't looking for backup. I being honest. I can be completely honest. You know me, I'm biased. I
Yes.
can be honest. Honestly, I think the independent word is difference between being an independent woman and being a strong woman. Or too strong. Because I feel like what you're describing is too strong. An independent woman who could provide for herself, who have sense, will always know that why I need a man. And what I need a man for is something I can't provide for myself. Any strong woman, even strong women politicians right now, guess what they are? They have men security. Why? Because you need that man to stand there and protect you if another man decides to act or the character around me. Is that not true?
Truth.
So, men provide a certain sense of security and protection that we as women sometimes need. You can't physically beat a man in each and every situation. You can't. That's fact. So saying a woman could be independent or I don't need a man, that is false biologically. Like we could demolish that.
Yes, ma'am.
Straight out of outright conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
But even if we're looking at it, other than including like the physical, if we look at it in the mental, emotional, and the other standpoint, that's what makes us so beautiful in terms of as co-species. We complement each other in certain ways, but you can't be independent of one another. You can't procreate without the other person. You can't have real longevity without the other person. You can get bored. High key. Man can stress you out, but they have a little bit of excitement. They can stress, but they have a little bit of excitement. If I only around my girls all the time, it can be boring. They have perspective. We can always agree on every standpoint, every conversation. No different perspective, no different energy, no nothing. You need the other sex involved in the conversation, involved in life, just to add that development, just to add that enticingness, to add that energy that cultivates change for society. That's why two sexes was always created. Point blank, period. The calf, even with the sheep, they had the stare, they had the this, they had the rooster, they had the chicken, they had the. You had one and the two. Like even from in the Garden of Eden, they had two. The animal was in pairs. That's why God created woman. Like man should not be alone. Point blank, period. So it ain't a matter of man need woman. Woman need man too. So even though, like how I even mentioned in my post that pussy caused this problem, INDEPENDENT.
Oh, I never heard
Hey,
that
she
song.
got her own house. Like when
Okay.
they glorify the
Only news.
independent woman to the point where they didn't also say that you still need a man.
Yeah.
Because if you start to make a certain amount of money as a woman, you become a target for the broke man.
That's it.
That broke man wants you to take care of him.
That's
He
it.
didn't want you after him. He didn't want you help him. I either want you take care of me or guess what? I gonna rob you. I lie.
Facts.
That's just the fact of it, and like that's just being honest, and that's just being factual. He ain't saying you, and that's the beautiful thing. And men who have money, because I've been around a lot of them, they always will say, "Boy, I want a woman who don't need me. She want me.
Yes.
She want me. She can pay her own bills. She got her own car. She can take care of stuff, but she want me around because she want me around." She could pay her own bill at the bar, but guess what? She could buy me and her a drink. But she just want me around because she like my company. She like me as a man, and she like what I add to her, and I like what she adds to me. And that's the type of dating and conversation we don't like to talk about. It's always transactional. And really, it should be like an incentive conversation. Like, I don't need you around. You just make me a little bit better, and I just like that little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. I don't need it. Like, I can make ends meet without you. But you being around, like, you just make it a little bit easier and make it a little bit sexier, That's it, that's all.
That's it, and that's all. Thank you so much, Yams. Appreciate it.
No problem. See y'all later.
Later.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but as we talk about independent women and we talk about the theme, I don't think the intention was to say, well, independent women don't need men in terms of or don't want men. It's just that can women be independent? That I think that was the perspective, but all women need men and men need women. That is a given.
No, Cheryl, there is actually a group of going around, and you can pay attention if you, I don't know how much you frequent social media.
My life
but
doesn't
there's-
allow it.
Really now.
I live
Not all them
I
names
live-
that you,
I
them
live
names
in
that you
life.
be sending me. Don't lie on we can tell you the truth. You can tell the truth. But anyway, yeah, there's a moment where they actually marginalize men. Men aren't necessary. Men don't serve no purpose. And this feminist movement was going on. This is strong. This is a strong. This is a feminist movement and a woke movement with all the same-sex alphabet community.
Okay.
That whole movement.
Well, I
that's
mean, I
almost
don't
one and
pay
the
a lot
same.
of attention to that.
So they're like men are not necessary. They don't need men. And it's the movement. I'm a strong, independent woman. And I'd be like, y'all don't
Well,
really
I
know
don't-
what independence is.
Right, but I look at I don't think about that aspect as it relates to being strong, independent women, because there's a lot of confusion where that is concerned. Are you a woman or are you whatever? So I don't think about that. I'm talking about women who had to just take care of themselves, and that's what I look at. That's the perspective I look at it from. But I know the last comment that B. Lord said about
What caused them to be in that
what
position?
caused. Okay, and I think that's one. Do we have
Piggyback.
any more comments? Because we have to go back to Johnson.
Listen, Tommy. Tommy asked me that
Yes,
question.
yes.
And Bradley
So-
alluded to it. And there are some cases that cause them to be independent, like you mentioned before, a
To
death,
right.
marriage,
Leading in divorce.
and it even that.
Being an orphan sometimes.
I was just going to say that. And then being born into poverty.
Right.
You know?
That's true.
So the females, well, males going to come up strong, harder anyway, because we were built for a little bit more physical toughness and all that stuff, so
Right.
that we can handle the harshness of life. That's really not a woman. A woman shouldn't be exposed to that, but because of they were exposed. I mean, because of how they were born, where they were born, we don't choose which family you're born into. So if you're born into poverty, then they come up kind of a little harder now. Where they see they have to now how to learn to provide for themselves. You can't depend on nobody, not even a man. You can't depend on nobody because you want stuff. You gotta live. So that causes them as well to be this independent. Now,
And-
the bad choices, the choices I'm talking about, as Bradley Below alluded to, you make poor choices with men. Picking the garbage guys.
Picking
Picking
sometimes
garbage guys, right?
Right.
You have babies for these garbage guys, which further compound the tough situation you're in. You were struggling before him. You pick a fella who's struggling, and who ain't gonna bring you up. He taking you down with him. And they all decide to bring a child. He run off and leave you to that child. Now you're
Right.
struggling with the child, so now you have to take care of you and the child, and all of this making you
Yes,
independent.
Yes.
That's poor choices.
yeah,
Then you
that's
go
one.
again, and you
That's
do it
just-
again, which further compounds it. So now you end up with a lot of kids by yourself, and you saying men are trash, and man only want this. No, that's the type of man you picking. So
And some
that
women are
forces her-
independent as well because they don't want to make a poor choice with a guy.
right.
So they stay single
Against
and
poor
do
choices.
it alone.
So
Excuse me?
a poor choice is choosing to stay out of the game altogether as well.
Because you don't want to select
you just be better.
a guy who you feel is not right for you.
Right.
That is a
You
poor
s-
choice.
Hold on. You said she don't choose at all.
She doesn't want to make a poor choice. That's
so
what
she
I'm
don't
saying.
choose at all. That's what I'm saying.
That's
So
not,
that's a bad choice.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I am saying she doesn't want to make a poor choice. I didn't say she hasn't surveyed her choices. She hasn't tried. I'm saying you have a lot of women. A lot of them I know personally.
Now you're saying a lot?
Who? Yes.
Because when I say a lot, you're saying no.
Yeah, I can
would you
say
say
a lot.
percentages and all this stuff?
It wouldn't. I'm not allowed to call names, but I can say a lot. And I can tell you who they are after the show.
3 people, Cheryl?
I can
3
say who
people?
they are after.
Because you ain't got no
after the
friends.
show.
3 people? You can't say that. 3 people?
Well,
Come
after
on.
tonight, I'm going to have one less. So, my point is, they have decided to be alone because they don't want to make a poor choice with a guy.
Right.
And that's
Understood.
and well, I mean, men do that as well. Men do that as well.
Yes, and see, Cheryl, that's why I was the question you were swerving me on, right?
I was
You was
swerving
curving me on, and you was just ducking. I was saying, shouldn't we have conversations so that they know how to make choices, so that they
have-
don't end up taking on this persona of being independent, of becoming hard.
Taking on the persona, Jason. This is real life for people. This is real life for some people. And
Yes.
like I said, because I don't see independence as a dirty thing. I don't see a woman being independent as a woman who don't want to be with a man. I see a lot of people, women who are independent because they have to be for whatever reason. And it's not because they have been, and that they're necessarily hard. They don't necessarily hate men. A lot of them want to be in relationships. It hasn't worked out that way for whatever reason, and they have to do life on their own, but that's the reality of the situation.
Now, I agree with that, but I would go so far as to say is the reason why they feel that way is because of choices that were made in the past, and now they're jaded, so now they have to hold back and make sure they don't make that choice again. So now, and the waiting period of making a better choice, they have to rely on themselves. So now they're forced to become this independent woman. Now, this isn't a good thing, in my opinion, because it's a good thing to provide for yourself. because you really don't want to be at nobody's victim to nobody's abuse or
Having
what they
to
say, trauma and
compromise yourself
loneliness.
because you have to, right.
So you should be able to provide for yourself.
Right.
But in doing that, you have to also have in the back of your mind that, okay, now, let me watch myself, because I know when I want to get into a relationship and the type of relationship I want, I have to know which role I want to play.
Right.
Because if I want a quality man and a man who's going to provide, certain things he's not going to want in a woman.
Right.
And I can speak from experience. Independent women and alpha men don't go hand in hand.
No.
They are
Yeah.
diametrically opposed.
Yes.
So she's gonna, if she wants a quality relationship with a real man, she's gonna have to learn how to kick that crazy independent talk out the window. But we have to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
I'm Flynn Doxson from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager and he's going to tell us a little about what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got this at Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
So we're back from commercial break and we got a caller online right now. The caller, say she couldn't wait to ask this question. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, so Jason and Cheryl, the question I have, because I'm hearing a lot of mixed conversation. You're talking about the independent woman who is independent by choice, and then you have those that you're saying that, that they've been somewhat thrown into the situation of having to be able to defend, protect, provide, and all of those things for themselves. So I think we need to segment this conversation and deal with the women who are there who are in this position, not by reason of circumstance, because their spouse died, there was a divorce, things like that. Because every woman has the capacity to be independent, depending on the situation that they are placed in. True. You have those who simply, they don't want to have to answer no questions. Don't ask me where I spend my money, where does money come from, how I get into where I go, because I am my own person and I don't feel I have to answer to you, right? And then you have those who have to do it because there's no one else to do it for them, right? And some of those women are unmarried and some of them are married, because you have these independent women who doing this in marriages, right? So, and I mean by default either, or they're doing it because the spouse there is not being perceptive of the needs and doing what ought to be done. You have some of those, but I want y'all to create that separation so that we are understanding, because I'm not sure who y'all are just addressing. Are we really talking about those women who are doing this by choice? I'm making my own money. Don't tell me how to spend it. Don't tell me where I can and can't go or whatever have you, because I do my own thing. Or are you dealing with those women who are in survival mode?
Great question.
Great question,
great question and great point.
Or
Yes.
do you even see that there is a difference, or think that there is a difference? And I'll leave you all there with that.
Thank you so much, caller.
Yes, there is definitely
Great
a difference.
question.
Yes.
Great points.
Great
points.
perspective.
Yes.
I think too, the reason, and maybe we were responsible, Jason, for confusing our viewers, because I have been talking about one group and you have been focusing on another group. But I think though that's a worthy conversation, and it's going to require more than the 5 to 7 minutes we have left of this show. We probably need to do a part 2.
Correct.
to talk about women who are independent by choice. And I never even conceived of the idea of married women being independent, because I don't even think that's a reality.
It's
that's
a reality,
concept.
Adana. It's a reality.
So that's something that definitely we can look into. But I think we were looking at it from a general perspective, though,
Generally,
Jason.
both groups.
Yeah, everybody together. But we were talking bits and pieces of different.
And I think you were looking at the ones who they are not by choice,
right?
And I was looking at the ones by choice,
right? That's
and that's why I guess that's where the whole thing come up with.
Yeah.
But and all honesty, like the strong independent woman it's a fact. She exists.
Yes.
But
a woman who is independent by choice and says, I want to be they should stay single.
Yes.
There is no way a woman who says, I want to be independent, I want to make my own decision, spend my own money, you cannot want to be attached to someone.
And not even wanting, the one who's actually promoting that, the one who actually glorifies that,
right,
needs to stay by themselves.
But I think the problem is where a man who would meet a woman like that and say, okay, I can deal with it in the beginning, because in the beginning we feel like we could deal with everything.
Yeah,
and women are the same. We feel, okay, whatever it is, we'll see. Just like you talk about the alpha male, we'll see an alpha male and I can deal with it. And then reality hits, life hits, and we realize, okay, this doesn't work.
And it's all selective, you know. The guy would choose that woman, that independent woman, because that's an easier ride, right?
Right.
But she also, when he starts to check stock, she don't listen, because she'll say, listen, I'm making my own money.
Yeah.
Who you talking to? You buy my house, you know. Go that way.
Yeah.
You know, and then the women who don't want to be independent, they find a guy who ready to take that independence of them and say, hey, depend on me. But he has boundaries. I don't think the outfit you have on, you know, those friends who you hanging with, they little suspect, you know. And then she'd be like, I don't want, he trying to tell me what to do. I was doing all this by myself before you come. And then, okay, miss, now you go out the door. You see, so those we like convenience and tell it.
We want what we want.
Yes.
With nothing
Only when
attached.
we want it. Yes,
and,
when we want it.
We don't want to have to do anything for it. So
he wants the freedom of not being able to provide for, not having to provide for her.
Right, but
he wants the control of to say, I'm the man.
Exactly. But what we have to understand, every freedom comes with a responsibility tied with it. Every freedom, every single one. And so you enjoy the freedom, know when the responsibility comes, you take it as well.
Responsibility and accountability.
Yes, absolutely. And that's important. So
I guess that was our little wrap up. So the independent woman, I guess we'll do a part 2.
Definitely.
We'll go a little deeper into this.
We'll have some guests on then, so, Jason will need someone in the middle here.
No, somebody, some police to guard, because the assault, the verbal assault and the dirty looks I was getting from this lady was not. I guess that was that strong, independent woman in her. Saying that no man can be here talking to me like this, putting question to me. Who is he? Huh? Let me stop. You see those looks again? Oh, Stephanie Cox, we got a late commenter. Some men appreciate an independent woman as a wife. As they say, behind every successful man is a strong, independent woman. I don't know if they say it's a strong, independent
just
woman.
A strong
they
woman,
say it's a strong woman, Steph. You just show that independent inside.
Oh, boy.
Hadassah, Israel said, listen, after going into slavery, we were trained to take authority over the men. Ooh. We were trained to have the mind, what is it? Mind be it off.
Being equal to the man.
Read carefully.
The Willie Lynch letter.
Oh, I know that letter. Slavery has us messed right up. Yes,
true.
It does.
Very true.
I agree with you. Tommy says, so men go around holding signs saying, I'm garbage. No, them jokers present themselves like they are serious and want a family until they are faced with responsibilities. Tommy, let me ask you this. When you go and apply for a job, or you're going to buy a car, or anything of any significant value, finance, do you do your research, or you just jump head in? That's all I can do. This is your life you're dealing with now. You're trying to tell me you ain't do as much investigation as you can. And this little small town that we so like to talk people business, come on, man. Come on, man. I make bad choices, I can own up to it. If I choose somebody and they put the wool on me, I ain't gonna put the gun on them.
I don't think you're always responsible for other people's bad behavior, Jason. People don't always reveal themselves, and you can never. How should a woman be held responsible? I'm not talking about having a baby with, and even you can find a guy to be decent, and he can make a fool of you.
True.
You can, yeah.
But Cheryl,
the second time and the third time, yes, that's on you.
True, but Cheryl,
what I'm saying
I
is,
didn't lock that down to women, you know. I said me, if I make a choice, bad choice. You hear what I said, right? So I ain't just putting that on woman. See, there's accountability thing here. I can be accountable for my
everyone.
decisions.
I am just saying that
boom.
it is
Thank
for
you so
everyone.
much.
It is for everyone.
Thank you so much. Listen, I think marriage and relationships, that's the most relaxed we be when we come to things. I mean, we'll lay down with anybody, we would call anybody our own without doing proper research.
Absolutely, that's true.
But and then we can put the blame on them if they swing us. When we didn't do our proper vetting. Now, if you did your proper vetting and you still get swing, it does happen.
And it does happen.
It does happen, but not on the scale what you trying to.
It happens a lot.
Never.
It happens
never,
a lot.
Never.
A lot.
Anyway, moving right along.
I don't know if Jason, if you say never 2 more times, it's going to change the stakes. Jay John says, how about taking the time to discern the person you are talking to, asking the questions that put pressure on the man and his level of integrity?
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
Get the facts.
Yes.
Is it man facts? That's guess it.
Car facts.
Car facts, right? Man facts.
Why, thank you so much,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Producer. You're so
you
excited
only
in
want
the
to
back
ask these
there.
questions, you know why? Because you think you can scare him off.
No.
You ain't want to ask them questions because you can make him run for the hills.
I agree, because we've said this in the past in many shows that we don't ask the right questions.
Right.
We don't ask tough questions
And then
because
you
we
get
want to
mad.
have the honeymoon and the chill
Yeah.
and the chill stage of the relationship. I agree, yes, that there are questions. But what I'm saying
there's
is
the
there
but.
are some people who you ask all the questions, you do all the research, you do everything,
Yes.
and you still
Yes.
get swing.
Yes, that's not the exception.
Both situations
that's too few
are
and far
real.
between to
That is
mention.
not.
Few and fine between to mention.
Where you live?
Listen, I live where you
Liz.
live, Cheryl.
Right here in Grand Bahama.
Exactly. Come on. Anyway, go ahead.
Definitely,
What do
we're
you say?
having a part 2 next week.
yes.
We don't even have to wrap the show up. Let's just wrap up next week.
She hot. She
I am
hot.
serious.
Cut her now. She ain't complete. Oh,
Make
wow.
me mad today.
But this has been Let's Talk. It's been real tonight. You see the real Cheryl tonight. You see, well, I ain't never changed. I always trying to get her to come out of her, whoever the person she's behind me.
You know what?
So
Wrap
I
up the
enjoyed
show.
this. I'm sure you all did. Commenters, I really love you all. Comments, keep
Yes.
calling. I love the callers. Keep calling in. And I thank you for what you added to the show tonight.
Definitely.
That definitely
Had a
made
lot
it-
of substance from
Yes.
the comments.
Comments and callers, yes. So, but guess what? Seems like we'll have to do a part 2 to this. Strong, independent women, fact or fiction, and we'll
We'll
differentiate
take it from the
between
different, yes.
which and which and which. And we can see why they're in that position and how they can avoid it. Because I was asking
No,
her,
I
should we have that conversation? But she didn't answer me. She still didn't say we should have the
next week
conversation.
we're talking about the independent by choice. I think that should be the women who are independent by
but
choice.
we gotta come up with solutions, Cheryl. We can't
Yeah.
just say by choice. We gotta
I
say,
never
should we
said-
talk about it?
No, we are. Who said we weren't coming up with solutions, Jason? I was just clarifying the topic so we don't confuse people again. Definitely, we're going to come up with solutions. All of us together, the viewers and me, because Jason is not solution oriented. He just likes to state the problems.
Yes.
Was that our wrap up? Are we done?
That's our wrap up. Thank you for joining us tonight on Let's Talk. We'll see you again next week, God's willing.